Well, welcome everyone. It's Rob. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please type the number 1 in the text chat to let me know that you can, I would greatly appreciate it. Morning, Brenda. Morning, Helen. Thank you. Thank you for all the ones. Hey, Erica. Morning, afternoon, Kevin. Let's see. I think vacation made me go more blind. Good to hear you having a good day there. A great day there, Jim. Hey, John, welcome. Mike, good to see you today. Joe, all right, excellent. So I know my voice is carrying loud and clear worldwide. As we get started here, keep in mind that everything we look at is for education and nothing is meant to be advice or recommendations. If you find something you like, anything, make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance before ever taking on a trade or setup or using an additional indicator. All right, so let's talk about what's happening. First, we've got our check-in for Inner Circle this evening. Our next one is the 19th, and then our monthly is on the 21st. Mastermind is August 13th. That is mañana. Trading You is coming up on August 15th. And the end of the month, we've got Monster Market Movers. Free trainings this upcoming week, month, whatever you want to call it. We've got Power Hour and Trading Coaches Playbook are both on regular schedule. I'm back, right, after being gone last week. How did Tony do last week? Did you guys like Tony's training last week? I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. It has been run since I made it back home from Cancun. Okay. Hey, Will. Glad you made it. We've got Art of Cash Flow, which is coming up on August 21st and 22nd. And then the State of the Union of Trading. That is, we should have its own topic. It should say not free online trainings, not premium. My team actually had it on premium. I moved it today. It really should be on its own thing right in the middle because it's a premium, or not a premium, a freemium. It is a free premium workshop. I try to do it once a year. Don't always get there, but I try. Where we get in and we just dig and dig and dig and dig. This is where you're going to bring your questions. What's going on now? What do you want to ask? What's working? What's not? Rob, what are you doing in these markets? I'm going to share all of that in this training. I do not believe we're going to be recording it, so make sure you come and watch it live. I don't think we're going to record it. I think I really want the questions in this. This is not, I know what I'm doing. I don't need to tell me what I'm doing. I already know. You want to know what I'm doing? Come, watch, learn, ask the questions. Listen, you got something going on that night? You got a doctor's appointment? Change it. Your daughter's getting married the next day, and that's the night you're having the rehearsal dinner? Change the time, all right? I don't know what to tell you. Get to this training. Andrew, can you drop the link in the chat box for the State of the Union of Trading, please? Guys, click on that link. You can go right to the website as well in the members area. Thank you, sir. Oh, Elisa, it's you in here today. Welcome. All right. Yeah, PK, vacation was extremely refreshing. Now, it wasn't just vacation. It was a mastermind for me. So I was there for 3 days of mastermind. My wife was there for all vacation. She loved it. The time alone, sitting on the beach, walking in the water, sitting by the pool, reading her book. We had a little pool in the back of our room that we had gotten. It's a little, quick little dipping pool, right? But 4-foot pool, I don't know, 12, 14 feet long, right? Whatever the width of the room is, it's the whole width of that. And then there's a balcony to sit at and so forth. Fire pit, which we didn't use, and all that good stuff. But so she had a great time, and I got to spend a bunch of time with her because our 3 days turned into 2.5, and we made the best of it, right? This year is not going to be a year for vacation for us. We knew it with my daughter's engagement party on a week ago or 2 weeks ago now on a Saturday at our home. A massive amount of plans for that between music and cleaning people and everything, right? And then my oldest daughter getting married on September 1st. We knew it was going to be crazy. And I have purposely waited. I'll let you guys know here. I don't know what's going to happen with Power Hour in September for the first week will be fine. The second or third week, I don't know if I'll be able to teach it. I'm going in for a procedure on my knee that they say I'm going to be laid up for a couple of weeks. The distance under this desk is only about 2 feet. So I can't, to straighten my leg, I would have to be out here. And I don't really know if I could teach that far away, nor have something to even prop my leg up underneath there. Which is why I'm trying to get everything in right now, right, for us. So State of the Union, do not miss out on that training, folks. It is going to be an absolute blast. Pop, covered call, regular schedule. E-mini, no trainings this week. You've already been extended on your subscription. Brandon is moving from Florida to Virginia. I think it's Virginia, pretty sure. I don't think it was West Virginia. I think it's Virginia. But he's moving there this week, and he said he's going to have a much more stable internet where he's at. He's going to have massive land that he's going to be able to play on and do his thing. So that's perfect, right? Absolutely perfect. So let's see. All right, here's our follow us page. Make sure you are. I actually sat down with Sean today and briefly brainstorming session this morning where we're going to start getting into, with as much as we do right now, folks, give you an idea. The week before I went away, we recorded 2 YouTube videos, just pure content, nothing for any promotional stuff that we've got coming up, pure content, and 17, I think it was 17 shorts, whether it's going to be Instagram, TikTok, so Reels, it could go on Facebook, it could go on LinkedIn, right? But to go throughout our various platforms out there, right? Twitter and the likes. So make sure you're following along on your favorite platform there. And of course, pick up on the podcast where I do content each and every week we put out there. There's a lot happening. Well, with that being said, we're going to make a shift very shortly into 2 primary platforms, and I will let you know what they are when we get there. More than likely, YouTube is one. We're focusing on a lot of platforms. We're still going to put content out on all of them. But if you want to see everything, these 2 will be the bomb of where you want to go. Once we hone in on that and dial in, and I'm going to be practicing, or not practicing, but testing a few things over the next few weeks, right up until the procedure. And then even after that, actually, some of it I'll be able to do right from my phone. But even after that, I've got some surprises coming for those of you in Mastermind Group and those of you in Inner Circle. You're going to have an opportunity, not an opportunity, it's going to happen, where you will get, and we're going to do it as a test, and I'll need the feedback from you guys if you like what I'm doing or not, but you're going to have 10 to 15 potential trade setups each and every day on a private Facebook group for those communities. Inner Circle, in the past, we haven't really done well with that. You guys really haven't followed through on the Facebook we had set up at one point. So we just talk and everybody's got phone numbers and emails there. But I'm going to have a central place we're going to put this stuff. We're going to put it up there. It's going to be private access only. And you'll be able to jump in, pick the candidates up at the end of the day for what we're going to be looking at for tomorrow. Right. So again, that's the type of stuff we're doing. And everything I'm going to focus on from whichever the secondary platform is going to be almost all of it trading content. This is what's happening right now type stuff. YouTube, I'm committed to do as many days as I can a week, and then I can find trade setups where I really want to find 3 potential setups each day. So 3 to 5 days a week, we'll be doing them on YouTube. We got Trade with Rob. Elisa, can you drop in the link for Trade with Rob, please? Folks, if you're not subscribed to this, you're making a huge mistake, right? We are crushing it in Trade with Rob right now. We are crushing it. I didn't check the trades from last week, the last ones we did. I don't believe I did. Let me see. Yep, so there you go. Elisa dropped in tradinglikeaboss.com. You just scroll down. I believe it's, we're always moving stuff around, but look for the Trade with Rob. You'll see it in there. Let's see. If we go over here to Trade with Rob and we come up for results, I'll share it with you. I show you everything. Yeah, I don't have the last 3 trades listed of whether how we did with them or not. Guys, here's every trade that we've done since I started this on June 25th is the date I started tracking it. That's when I started tracking it, June 25th. There's every stock, whether if we just go to we'll go to the first line, right? So there's the date, trade date. So I would have done that on the 24th, 625, DPZ, no trade taken, right? 625, Goldman Sachs, yes, we took the trade, bullish trade, price of the stock when we got in, price of the stock when we got out. We lost $145 on that trade. We put it down under the cost column, right? The next trade was TMO. These were all on the same day. Bearish trade. We got in at 566.75. We got out at 556 and a half, $802 of profit. We locked that in as a winning trade. We come down here and there's 3 open trades right now. By the way, these are the ones, anything that's grayed out like this, not taken, right? And it says none over here, okay? We got 3 trades that I've got to just go back and check from the August trade date, see how they did. P&L so far for this year doing 1 contract, just 1. And remember, these are all for educational purposes. Nothing's been taken as advice here. $5,434.44. We have had 36 total candidates that I put up. 15 were winners, 6 went against us, 1 broke even, 14 were no trade. And that doesn't count the last 3 here because they don't have any numbers in these boxes. That's where that's coming from, right? Our average trade is $247.02 on 22 trades overall. So if you look at 22 trades and we had 7 trades that did not work, that's about a 66% win rate on this, ish, right? Someone can do the math. If you took 22, 15 divided by 22, that'll give you the win rate, whatever that number comes out to be. These are all free trades we do each and every week, right? Again, I try to do them a couple of times a week. I try at least 3 times a week to get up there. And here's a very important reason why you want to subscribe to Trade with Rob. If you do, starting hopefully this week sometime, we'll get it implemented. But starting this week, it won't be today, that's for sure. Starting this week, I have 10, 15, 20 candidates every day that I look at. I only show you 3. They're all set up in the right area. I'm going to be sending the list of all candidates out to you that saying, here you go. These are the potential trade setups for tomorrow. All of them, not just those 3. No cost, no anything. In the email is going to be the list of all the companies. They're going to be in what's called a CSV format. So it's going to be Apple, AAPL, comma, Adobe, ADBE, comma. That comma, that whole string, you can copy that, paste it right into Omega charts. Done. You don't have to type them in, nothing. Just copy and paste. All right. So 68%. There you go. I said about 2/3, right? About a 67%. 0.68 is better, right? And 0.67, I'll take it. But I appreciate that, Jim. Thank you very much for doing that. All right. So here's our Trading Boss Manifesto, folks. You should read this. You should download it. You should, make this part of your life. This is what, to me, it is to help you become successful at trading. What I want to do to help you get to that point. What I'm willing to do to help get you there. So, go ahead and download it. It's free. It's on the website. All of our websites. It's on Wealth Builder's website. It's on Trading Like a Boss website, and it's robertjroy.com website as well. You can download it on all 3. State of the Union. Da, 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 da. Right? Was not in the service. I applied. I went down to Marines and applied with a very good friend of mine and my best friend. We were going to be buddies, right? We're going to go together. They guaranteed us to be together, right? I had a skill, a very important skill when I was 20 years old, 18 years old, right out of high school. I had a very important skill of contracting, carpentry work, right? I was very good at it. All kinds of awards in high school, and they guaranteed to put us anywhere we wanted. We would not see any kind of time front line if we didn't want to, because of my skill was very much needed in building barracks and so forth. So we both went and we applied, and the eyeglasses that I wore at the time, pre-getting LASIK done, were too thick. They were more than 7 diopters thick. My vision was 20/200, and the letter A is about that big for me of what it took me to see it, to be able to read it with my glasses on. That's how big it had to be, right? Without my glasses, rather. So they wouldn't accept me. My friend went, my buddy went, but I did not. But State of the Union of Trading, what's working now, what isn't, what are the best strategies, and bring your questions. Do not show up there without questions. Write them down in advance. I'm there to answer those questions and to show you exactly what it's going to take. What has helped me in the numbers I just showed you on from tradinglikeaboss.com, right? From the Trade with Rob, rather. What's helped me there? What's helped us in Pop? What's helped us in all of the promotional type things that I'm talking about here? Look at what we're doing in these various programs. What's helping Brandon the way that it is for him? I don't have Brandon's strategies in there, guys, but we have the same methodologies. We use different analysis to determine our levels, but we have the same methodology for what we do there, right? So bring those questions with you when you come to the training for this, all right? So with that in mind, what trades have you all done? Today, Friday, drop them in. I've done nothing, just FYI. Today is a get back day. I had to update Omega charts today from the entire previous week, which took a little bit of time to get done. So what trades have you all done? Drop those in. Let's see what you did from this last couple of days. Today is fine. If you did, that's great today. If not, Friday, Thursday, whatever it is. Let's see. Roman said, NVIDIA from fib to fib, like my mentor says, shagalaka boom, 30% return on investment. There you go, Roman. I absolutely love it. I love it. 30% ROI on NVIDIA. Man, Friday SPY, Brenda said 5.5%. That is awesome, Brenda. Listen, I'll say it again and again. You'll hear this come up at State of the Union. Everybody needs to have certain symbols on their list. SPY is one of them. There is not a reason out there that you should not be adding SPY to your trading. Everybody should have that on their list. Stephanie said, played with ion condors on the rut this morning and paper, learning how it moves. Good, Stephanie. It's a great strategy. You'll love it. Trip said, mini scalp on the Qs for 24%. Mini scalp for 24% in 5 minutes. Realtor called right before the bell rang. Shrug. Yeah, that's when you don't answer. John said, Wheel of Fortune on NVIDIA beyond Google, cash flow of $1,000. There you go, John. I love it. Trader Will, AMD, $185, one of 5 winners. So this was only one of the trades that Will did today of 5. All right. Will probably does more trades than most others will. Phenomenal trader. He's in our inner circle, has been from the very start. Absolutely phenomenal trader. There's only one individual that probably comes close to him, and that's Bill, who was in our inner circle at one point, who is a spreads genius, and he does 20, 30 trades open at a time. I could never track anywhere near that amount of numbers. Denise said, Apple, $500. Good job, Meta. Minus $5, Square plus 128. Okay, so you lost 5, made 128, so 123 overall, PK. I love it. Good job, everybody. Good, really good job. Again, for me, tough day back. My team, I've not been around the entire week. I really haven't been in touch with them at all. This last week, there were no real emergencies that came up. My team was able, and I never expect anything else, but my team handled all of it, which was great. No interruptions at my mastermind / vacation, right, at all, which was, I'm very happy about. So today was catch-up day of what's going on. What do I need to do? I got a lot of stuff that I owe to my team for things that are coming up that they need materials for. Yeah, there you go. Jim said, way to go, traders. Absolutely. I told Sean we need to get back the button here since we're not doing Power Hour in the office anymore. He's got to come here and install it. So maybe, probably not this week. We've got way too much recordings to do this week. But maybe the week after, I'll have him come before we go to, I get my procedure done. So I have that here. We can have the flying hammer and smash boom and all that stuff going on. For congratulations. Jennifer Vacay was awesome. Yep, there you go. PK said you're all killing it. Listen, there's nothing wrong with typing in, and I read them all, folks. I read them all. There's nothing wrong with typing in the congratulations. I mean, these people are doing phenomenal, right? They're out there. They're pulling the trigger. They're doing their thing. It's wonderful. All right, I want to talk a little bit about the S&P 500, okay? And what's happened, what do I think, and so forth, okay? So without giving too much away about our topic today just yet. So if we look here and see, I'm out of practice. I need to bring up my drawing tools. So give me a second. I hate the ones in Zoom. If there's ever anything I would say to do differently for Zoom, it would be just that. The drawing tools stink. I need 7 buttons I got to push before I can clear the text off of the screen. Okay, perfect. So now, let's go blue. So we had this really nice move up. We had a good pullback to here, which I was very happy to see that kind of pullback there. We got right back to the 618. We went 1, 2, 3 lines. So there's our upside down H on the S&P, and then kaplunk, kaplunk, kaplunk. I mean, we just plummeted, right? Three days in a row, bad trades, gap down, VIX off the charts, right? At times, which was, I don't believe to be valid or real. I think it was just an overreaction with VIX. And then we're getting some bounce now. I went ahead and I drew, there's a pattern or a tool that we have on Omega charts. It's called an ABC tool, or at least that's what I deem it. But if you're looking for the exact name for the tool, it is the Fibonacci extension, right? It's got a V and a couple of black, blue, green, red lines attached to it, okay? And you may see some tools on here that you don't have. They are proprietary to me, so don't worry about that. So what we did is I grabbed that tool, and I would have drawn A is going to be where we start, the fib, B is going to be where the fib ends, and C would be the lowest low we made, and then we'd be looking for 3 lines to tell us where it goes to next to the upside. Well, we had that run up, and then after this first big day down in this gap, it was clear, it was evident that this was not going to be a move to the upside. So you adjust, right? You adapt, you pivot. We went from the highest high, which was the A point right there, to the lowest low we made, which was the B right there, and then to the highest high that we made. And what happens? By drawing this from A to B, we're measuring, that's 100% of the move right there. That's 100%, period. The move back up here is the retracement. We'll just put that equals R for retracement, whatever that is, okay? So from this line, from C, we're looking for now what is known as our D. And D is the 100%. Well, we gapped right through that D. And you may remember, let's see, this was on August 5th, which was a Monday, right? And that's when Tony did Power Hour. So you remember the last one, I already had this drawn in, right? On our last Power Hour. I already had this drawn in. No, it was in Pop, not Power Hour. Sorry, it was in Pop. I already had this drawn in and said, we're looking at that 618, and then we're looking at that 1 as where we're going. Because the A to B move, we're looking to duplicate from A to B. We're looking to duplicate that off of C. So to make it a little bit more close-ish to precise, close-ish. It doesn't have to be exact. It's close enough, right? That's about 276 points. So we're looking off of that high about 276 points down. And you can see it comes to that 1. And I'm off on my line a little bit the way that I just drew those 2 green lines that I drew, 275.94. It's off by a little bit, okay? But that one level is 52.85.98. So 52.86 basically is that level, okay? And we gapped and blew right through it. And then I get the messages. I could see them because we had phenomenal service in Cancun, ironically enough. And I get the messages, and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing some emails come in, students, friends that are traders. You know, it broke through. Rob, it didn't even stop. It just went, and poof, it's gone. What are we looking at next? And those that are fib traders and that had reached out to me, and I had no laptop with me. This was a condition of my wife. The laptop stays home or she's not coming, because it was bad enough I was going to be gone for 3 days of the 6 days we were going to be there. But she did not want to have to play second fiddle to the market on the very little time each of the mornings and evenings that we had together. She didn't want to play second fiddle to it. So I did not even take it with me, which was a good thing, because somebody in our group had 2 devices with them. I only had my tablet with me. I didn't carry anything else. But normally I have a tablet, you know, a regular Samsung tablet. I have a writing tablet that I use, which is called Remarkable. And I have a laptop with a second monitor. Well, someone got pulled over and their bags were checked, and they were charged $200 per device over the one that they were allowed to bring in. So if you're bringing extra in, they consider it commercial, I guess. And this woman paid $600 at our group for carrying, I would have paid $600, but this one had paid an extra $400. She had 2 additional devices. So good thing that I didn't bring them. But even so, they didn't check my bags. But even so, I didn't have my laptop. So I said, well, go ahead and add to this. So what do I add? So we'll add the 1.618. So we click on this one, and we come down here, we find 1.618. Right? Boom. If we could put in 1.272, right? But we gapped right down through that. So I don't care about the 272 level, right? And look what happened. We gapped down in the middle of nowhere. Actually, we gapped down in here, middle of nowhere. We stretched all the way down. Now, our low on that day, and that was on August 5th, our low, I'm too far down. I got to get up on the page, was 51.19.26. We'll just call it 51.19. We'll call this 51.14. Close enough. 5 points away on a 5,000 point index, we missed that line by. Did that mean it was going to hold it? Nope, that's it. You can't break through anymore. We drew another line. Of course not. But you need to look at this strategically of, okay, so back it up for a moment. Ooh, too many days at one time. So we're sitting here and going, all right, so it bounced off of, and that's the key here, folks. It bounced off the fib line, got close to the 1 line, but didn't, I mean, the 618 line, and the one line, got close to it and bounced off of it. So I'd consider it a bounce. So now my question would be, am I going to get a bounce the next day? If I violate that line on the open, the next thing is, I could have been in position number one, ready to place a trade. We get this big gap down. I'm immediately going back to position number three in the chair, position one in the chair. I could have been in three. And I immediately go back to position number one in the chair and take a breath, right? And now analyze what's happening. Okay, we broke through the one line on the fib. So that's completely been violated at this point. The fib itself is no longer any good. So I need to look for a new Fibonacci at this point, which we'll do tonight in Pop, right? I need to look for a new fib at this point, but what can I do? What can I use to help me identify what might happen next? Well, one of the things would be a previous fib, right? So we can go back and we can look for previous fib lines. And I've got one here at 51.28 or so, right? 51.28. I've got a fib line. I can't see the exact number, but I'm close. 51.30, whatever it is, 51.30. We stretched down a little bit more than that to 51.13, 15, whatever it was, 19. So that's pretty close. So we had a line there, but listen, as much as I like having them there, I would much rather use that line in confluence with something else to help me understand, ooh, this is happening. Much rather have it, okay? So if we look at this and say, okay, if we added the 1.272, well, that didn't work. If we add the 1.618, that one works. We're right in the right range with that one now. Get rid of the 272, it didn't work. It's not a primary line. These are more conditional based. If I go ahead and take this line that I said is close, right here, and I snap a line there. Whoops. All right, let's just do it here. I was on top of the fib line and I clicked on it. So it took it as a click of the fib line. So I snapped that line there. And if I bring us current now, right? Do I have a true confluence? 133, 114, call it 113. That's 20 points, 19 points away. It's not really a true confluence, but at a $5,000 index, it's not bad, right? I would rather use this previous fib line to help me with some other current line, if at all possible. And the ABC pattern gives us that. And if you have not spent the time to figure out 100% moves, of what I call a stacking method, which I will be teaching all of this, future forecasting on fibs, I will be teaching all of this in the upcoming fibs training that will be hitting live, not in New York, live online. I think it's in October. I think we're doing it at the end of October. We're going to be talking about that in there. But if you've not spent the time to learn these 100-point extensions and what other levels go with them and so forth, you really need to. Because this has picked out every single major move that we've made. It has identified those moves. Individual stocks, it works on the market itself. I wouldn't use it on VIX, but it works on market. It works on stocks. It works on futures. Same way. Okay. Without a doubt, it's time to redraw PK. Yes. Well, I'm going to be talking about some of that at our summit, Will, on October 18th. Yes. Which is the future forecasting, and some of that I will be teaching it there. Yes, without a doubt. That is the first place that'll get revealed. From there, at the end of October, we'll start having people register for a free training. That there's a fib class coming up. But guys, we're going to be doing a live fib training in it's either the end of October, beginning of November is when that live training will start. But we will definitely be teaching it there to Inner Circle and Mastermind. Those are my two proving grounds. And actually, we will probably go over it in shortened fashion prior to that at one of our meetings with just Inner Circle. So you guys already have a look at it. By the time you get to the Trader Super Summit, you will already know about this. Hopefully everybody's practiced it, tested it, brings their questions, and then we'll teach it there. And then we'll start releasing it in the FIBS trainings that we do. So overall, great move. But now you've got to ask yourself the question, what now? What now? First question is going to be what? What is the bias? Well, we are in a bearish neutral bias. So I know that some have taken advantage of this move up, and I am not poo-pooing it at all. But if you took that trade, if you took a trade, to say you took a trade on this day, you're aggressive. You opened up here, you retested and bounced off the one line. I like it, right? If you held till the end of the day, you made a profit, but you had a big pullback. The next day you gapped up. If you took that trade, it ran and just demolished the next day. Guys, that's where the breakout stuff doesn't work, and you need the right pattern and the right setup. Besides the fact that you're in a bearish bias, so what does that tell us? That tells me that unless you're putting high-risk capital into the trade, don't. Unless you have a strategy for, I'm going to buy a position on the way down as I find some support, and if it falls more, I'll add to the position. Unless you're doing something like that, don't. 70 to 80% of all stocks move in the direction of the S&P 500. Then why? Why would you trade against it? Now, more experienced trader, you have a strategy that is counter trend. I'm all for that. No, I'm not saying it never works. What I'm saying is the average trader, the average person probably should avoid fighting the overall pattern. We're still in a bearish bias. But Rob, if I wait for it to get bullish, so much has been missed out on. How bad are you going to feel if this thing crumbles on you? Because we're not out of the woods yet. Yeah, we got a bad unemployment report, which was good, except the market took it as bad, right? We've been waiting for this to lower interest rates. Market takes it as bad, right? Really? You're taking it as bad? Okay. And then we had some other numbers come out last week. I did have Bloomberg on TV, and if my wife was out of the room or in the shower, I'd put it on real quick and catch up, but she didn't know. she doesn't. We don't watch Bloomberg. I don't watch Bloomberg here. I always have on CNBC. There was no CNBC in the hotel we stayed at in Cancun. So Bloomberg is not a channel she recognizes. She doesn't watch TV. So she paid no attention to it at all, even though I'm flipping channels. She never said, oh, the stock market is there. Nothing, right? So, which is good, right? I'm happy for that. But we're in a bearish bias, guys. We're at a rank of 3. We're in the middle of nowhere. We're in God's country somewhere. There's nothing but tumbleweeds and overgrown grass, right? I got nothing here that gives me a clear path to where I'm going. So you wait. You wait and you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait. Right? And when we get into the topic for today, which will be shortly, I'm going to hit on a couple of symbols and why they are doing what they're doing. We're going to look at some pop stocks. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'd be looking to do with these positions. So let's see, we got a couple of comments in here. Yeah, I'm okay. Well, she didn't blast me too bad, but Jim said plus Forex calendar shows Tuesday PPI, Wednesday CPI, Thursday unemployment claims. Lots of data to move the market this week. Yep, and that's part of it, right? And we get these reports that happen every week. We get stuff like this. It's just not been a big deal. Powell hasn't moved off of anything, right? Now this news comes out, and he had already mentioned dovish, a more aggressive move potentially to cut rates. There was a very high percentage. Can somebody look up percentage chance of a quarter-point rate cut this meeting coming up in September? Can someone tell me what that number is? There's a pretty aggressive chance. There was 96% or something. We'd get a quarter point, right? Drop. And again, I have looked at nothing at all. Today has all been catch up, phone calls, and the likes, right? But when we look at the market, it's giving us nothing at this point, telling us, oh, we should take advantage of a bullish move. The people that said, oh, but Rob, that was a clear entry point off of that day. You know what? Go for it. You're a better trader than I, because I could not find that to be a clear bullish entry. We were up for the day. There's no question. And could I have taken a day trade off it? Yes. SPY all day long, baby. This was a fib to fib move, forgetting the 100 percentile number there. We moved off of the 0 and 764, right? We moved right off of those numbers, right? We moved right off of them, right between there. Ping pong was the name of the game that day, okay? Name of the game, and that was on Tuesday of last week. That was the name of the game. It did phenomenal, right? Tripp said 45% chance of cut. Oh, that was 50. Okay. So there's a 54.5% chance for a 1/4 point cut. There's a 46% chance of a 1/2 point cut, which, Tripp, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't it a week ago or so, like 2% chance of 50%? Wasn't it really small? That sounds right. Yeah. Thank you, Jim, also for jumping in with those numbers. Trip brought them in and Jim did for us. Same numbers. So thank you. It sounds about right. Yeah. So that's what I remember. I don't have it documented. You can probably go back somehow and look, but Roman said, seems like the SPX just closed the gap and now in decision of what to do next. Well, and close this gap, right? We still have this one in here, right? And nothing happens until we close that gap up. And guys, by the time we close that gap up, we're in bullish bias. We're in bullish territory again. Again, it doesn't mean you just jump in because it went bull. You watch for a pattern, which again, we're going to talk in a little while. But I agree, there's just so much out there. But most traders get very hyper-focused on one candle only today. Oh, we're up today. I should buy. Yeah, again, I'm not saying don't. We're up that day. Beautiful. We're up. Strategically plan out a trade. With as volatile as the market is, do I really want to hold overnight? I don't know. You have to make that decision. I can't. Right? You have to decide, is this the type of trade setup that I want for me right now? I'm not a big fan of the hold overnight type stuff with this. Brenda said, do you consider the gap close on the body or the wick? It's on the wick, Brenda. Doesn't have to close there, but we filled it. And we're not really filled because we had closed here. So we really didn't fill it. We just got close. Well, on this day we did, right? Now we did. We got past the close there, right? And that's all it is. Did we get through? Did we close that window up? And the answer is yes. Erica said, I am not holding overnight. Thank you very much. Trip said 50-point cut became more than 1% chance on August 1st. Okay, there you go. So, yeah, Brenda said, me either, Erica, LOL. No kidding, right? It's the holding overnight is tough. Again, I have a strategy for certain stocks that I'm buying and adding to my portfolio. I love the downturn right now. It gives me an opportunity to add to them. I did miss out on one that I wanted to get because I wasn't here last week. I would have picked some of that up. I do not have a position in it now. I'm not going to say who it is because that would be bad. If I own something, I can say that, but not things I'm considering. So if I buy it, I will let you know, and you can do what you choose to at that point. But overall, guys, the move was phenomenal, right? VIX, and we stretch up here to what, 66 or something was the high here? 65.73 or 673? 65.73 was the high, right? Crazy, crazy, crazy move. Scrunching everything down so dang tiny now because of that long wick. I almost want to take the wick and pull it out just to put this back in perspective again. But we went from a low volatility a few days ago. Within one day, we were up at high. A day after that, we were at moderate. Day after that, we were at high. We're back at moderate, low here. We get a little bit longer, a little bit further down, and we're in a low volatility all over again, right? Yeah, Jennifer said, I bought stocks last Monday on the cheap, and that's it. I am window shopping, or I'm dressing on my portfolio. I'm adding to it at that point, looking for the cheaper stocks. If I bought a stock at $150 and it drops down to 120 and I feel it found some support and it bounced, I'm going to buy it at 120. And then if it drops down from there and it goes to 100 and it finds support and it bounces, I'm going to buy it at 100. Up to my allotment of how many shares and or dollars you want to put into that trade. You don't have to buy in 100 share increments. You may only want to own 20 shares because of the cost of the price of the stock. So maybe you're buying 4 or 5 shares and you buy 4 or 5 again. Don't worry about commission. It should be the last thing you worry about when it comes to this stuff. If you're worried about trying to get in and pay the dollar in commission or whatever it costs you, 50 cents in commission, you're focused on pennies to try to pick up dollars. Don't do it, right? Focus on the dollars, not on the pennies. Okay. All right. Perfecto. So let me go back over here and let's talk about trading after the mini crash. So I kind of alluded to a few of the things inside of here already. And that explanation of S&P was critical for what we're going to get into now. All right. So if we look here, I've got some symbols that have check marks next to them. Right. This is my pop list. Okay. This is Adobe. Okay, I want you to look at what's happening. And if we take, and I don't want to shut the data off because it may just be hard to get it back on again. I mean, intraday data. But if you look at where we closed on Friday, we closed right at a key level. We had a confluence. We were in a bullish bias, rank of 1, right? But it's really a switchback trade. It can go either direction, right? So today we opened up, we pulled back, and we had a nice drop in there. Some may not have liked it because of the 8 moving average, right? But again, we're looking at, what are we looking at trading after the mini crash? And that's what this was, a mini crash. I'm not looking at this as, the end all. Oh, this was the end of the world. It's not. You're going to have more crashes that are going to be much worse than this. I'm not worried about this at all, right? So Adobe set up. Now, by the way, there's 22 symbols in here. 2 of them are S&P and VIX. So there's really only 20 stocks in there. I've got nine of our 20. So about 50%, I have check marks next to it. Why? Because these are all ones that have potential of what's going on right now. So if we look at the next one, AMD, same scenario, look where it closed. Bearish bias, rank of 1, maybe 2. No, not 1 or 3. It's not going to be a 2. It's going to be 1 or 3. The moving average is close enough for sure, right? And today we opened up and we ran. Okay, it didn't make the cut for what we want, but the setup was there, right? Let's go look at Amazon. And you've got the luxury of seeing Friday and today. We were in a bearish bias. We closed at a rank of 1. Not my favorite one. Price is on one side of the moving average, the fib line, and the moving average is on the other side of the fib line. So here is the fib line. Price is down here, and the moving average is up here on opposite sides. Not my favorite one in there, right? But it's still a 1. If we would have gotten a move up, a retest and a bounce, there's the potential entry, right? Go look at Booking. Booking, I don't like the setup because moving average and fib line, we're kind of ping-ponging in between there, which is good. I could take some premium on that. But Booking is a volatile stock. We're looking at 65, we'll call it, and 64. About 70-point move between the moving average and the fib line. Can you make money on 70 points? Yes. The question is, can you afford the difference between the bid-ask spread of $5 or $7 or $10 based on volatilities? Okay. Most people know. But Booking, it's what's happening there. It's pinning between those 2 lines, the moving average and the fib line. So we're running out of steam right now, waiting for pressure. It's pressure cooker. We're waiting for the breakout. Which way? I don't know. I'm not sure. But it's setting up, right? Coinbase, right? Well, wait. Does that look like here's Booking and here's Coin? Booking and Coin. Very similar pattern to it. Very similar pattern to it, right? We're in a bearish bias, rank of 2. We're sitting right at the moving average line. We've pierced through a couple of times now. Nothing clear, right? Costco, we broke out on Costco right here last week on Thursday. We had a great breakout. Friday was a retest and a bounce, right? Amazing setup. Today, we gapped up, we retested, and we bounced. An amazing setup. When you talk about trading after the mini crash, that's what I'm looking for. The setup has to be right. If I cannot get a perfect setup, and I mean dead perfect, I'm not interested, guys. In this type of a market where there's all the uncertainty we have and economic reports, you better make sure that if you are stepping out and you're going to take a trade on a position, you better know the time you're taking that trade. You better know if there's an economic report set to come out, because that could snap your neck and just whip you around in the opposite direction faster than fast you ever thought possible, right? Jennifer said, Booking, do you think it's going to split anytime like the other high-priced stocks? I don't know, Jennifer. I just hope they don't do a 50-to-1. I'm not a fan of those big down to nothing splits. So I don't know. Eric said Costco was lovely. Yes, I did a practice trade on Costco. Good. Yeah, no worries, Erica. You were spot on with it, and we're good. We're good. So Costco, great move, right? Friday, today, plenty of opportunity there for both, right? Google, we close in a bearish bias, rank of 2, 3 probably, right? Are we going to break down? We gapped up, we fake false, break into bearish. But you see what's happening, guys? See how the similar patterns of what we're setting up with here, right? Goldman Sachs. So Goldman Sachs, we broke out. And what happened on Friday? We opened up down a little bit on Friday when we opened. We stretched down to the 482.95 and we bounced. We had a confluence of the moving average and the fib line right there. It was a rank of 1 when it happened right then and there, real-time setup, and it bounced from that point. That bounce, phenomenal. It's exactly, I mean, exactly what we needed to have happen there, right? Today, we opened up, meaning open up, just the open. Today, right, was slightly down and we ran up. Here, kitty, 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 and we pulled right back. That would not be an entry for me no matter how you sliced it. I'm not interested in entering here. Not when we're 60% of the way through the fib lines. Why? I need a pullback. Did it pull back today? Yes, it did. Was it close enough? You have to make that determination for yourself. Might not have made it for me, but the pattern is what we're looking for. That overall pattern. MasterCard, right? Same type of thing, guys. We had moved up. We gapped up on Thursday. We pulled back a little bit and we ran. The question is, on Thursday, did MasterCard take a bounce off of that 452.15 level, breakout, retest, and bounce that met your risk profile? You may say, Rob, man, as long as that thing got 20 cents above and the wick stretched down a little bit intra-candle and bounce, that's my entry. That's fine. Document that entry. Write it down. Keep a written plan, couldn't get the word out, written plan of what your setup looks like, right? If that's your entry, write it down. I need at least a 12-cent move. I need a 20-cent move. I need a $1 move, whatever it is, write it down, okay? That was last one. So guys, what am I looking for? Let's summarize all of this now. You have a market that is still pure insanity. I don't see any clear directional move at all here. Yes, the bulls are breathing better. Woo, baby. Did my portfolio take a hit there? Somewhat on my long positions. Absolutely. Absolutely. Did you have protection? Because you can buy protection on using puts, right? There's ways of doing that. Are you leveraged properly? Meaning you don't have this thing, you're going to have to start bringing cash into your account now. If you're good there, then okay, which you should be. But to say that this is a turning point and we should be jumping in, I ain't got nothing yet. I got nothing that says we've turned and moved to the bull, right? Could I have found a place on this date here, which was Tuesday, to take a bullish entry? Without a doubt. Yes. If the market is bullish, is there a clear path that I've got to get up to my resistance line, clear and concise entry? Yes, if the concise entry was there. Did this gap up, run and fail, give me enough fail off of this fib line, the red fib line, to get me back all the way down to the 0? Yes. Today, this day here, not that excited. This day here, I opened a little bit lower, I retested and I bounced. Yes, possible entry in there. In here, today, nothing to give me entry in there today, right? I got limited movement in there with the 8 moving average, so I don't have a clear path, right? You may get the concise entry, but I don't have the clear path in there whatsoever. So for me, yeah, I'm going to back away and say, nay, I'm not going to do anything with it for today. But you have to make that decision. You have to make that call. But your setup should be knowing what's coming out economic report-wise. Most earnings are over at this point. You still have some stragglers in there, but most are gone. The big ones are gone. So now it's identifying the right setup and the right movements in there that you see happening, and then devising a plan of exactly how you're going to attack when this happens. It needs to be, when I was 16 years old, I had a friend in school who at the age of 12 had like his 5th black belt already. Right? And I met him from school. We were friends for a couple of semesters. We were in the same classes. He moved away. We lost touch. And he was good. I mean, really good. School that I went to, the high school I went to, not so good. Okay, really bad area where it was located. more than one time, attempted getting jumped on the bus. One time attempted getting dragged off of a bus. Tough neighborhood, right? So he taught me some moves in his, and I don't remember what it was some form of karate, but I don't remember what it was exactly. But he taught me some things, and he gave me or taught me these things that he called katas. And it was just a routine. Do this, do that, do this, do that, whatever it was, right? Whatever it was, the routine. That's all it is, a routine. You need to identify the routine for you. And remember, I've said this over and over and over again. There are books out there that you should be looking at. Darn the heck if I can remember exactly the name of the one that I've got on the website right now. I am still in vacay mode, I think. Let me see here. Let's go here. If we go over to trading resources, Atomic Habits. That's the one I'm thinking of. You got books here. Trading books. Okay, mindset. Used for trading as well. But so Power of Habit. The other one is Atomic Habits, right? Either one of them are great. But Q, routine, reward is what you'll hear. Q, routine, reward, right? You've heard me mention this here before, more than likely. What's the Q, right? The bell rings at 12 o'clock. What does that tell you at work? What does that tell you? Oh, it's lunchtime. That's the routine. What's the reward? You eat and feel satisfied. Okay. Well, the problem is you eat 7 pounds of cheese for lunch every day. Probably not the best thing for your body, or 9 pounds of deli meat. Okay. Or even 1 pound of deli meat. Probably not the best thing for your body. Oh, but I avoided the bread. Yeah. Okay, good. But you might not be doing yourself any justice without having the right mix of foods in there. But it's the reward is the satisfaction. So what do you need to do? The cue is still going to be there. If you're working the job and the bell rings at 12, the bell rings at 12. That's the cue. The routine is what? To eat lunch. Okay, but that routine doesn't have to be that you're eating all that cheese or all of that meat or all whatever it is. That routine can change, can adjust, right? And that's where the Atomic Habits comes in. That's where the Power of Habit comes in. Any books that are like that, I'm a big fan of. My wife has read probably a dozen books on habit. And she's good the way she does it. She listens to the audio on Audible, or from our library. She can borrow books from our library on Audible as well, audio as well. And then she'll go ahead and borrow the book from the library to get the actual physical book, and she'll read that after. So she'll be listening to one audio. So let's say Atomic Habits, and then she might have a love story that she's reading in the actual book. Okay. And she doesn't really do love stories, but you get the idea. 2 different books at the same time. Okay. And usually they have a theme to them. So they'll be similar in what they do. Atomic Habits, Power of Habit, and so forth. And that she has changed her own routines drastically from some of where she was stuck, as I have, of some of where I have been stuck, right? Started doing things differently, making adjustments to it, whether it's eating, whether it's exercise, whether it's sleep. My sleep habits were horrible. I'm a night person. I would rather stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning and then just wake up at 6 a.m. and drive hard for that day. But it's not good on the body. It's not good for cognitive function, none of it, right? So I have forced myself to a standard bedtime, and I don't always hit it. We were out with friends last evening. There was no way I was getting to bed that time, right? Because the rest of my nighttime routine had to be put in place as well. So you need to have that routine of what you're going to do. You need to be able to look at this and say, what does it take right now? Pretend this is an individual stock. No, actually, let's not. Let's go to Lilly. They've had a nice move up. So we've got Eli Lilly here. Right, we're sitting at a pivot right now. What would it take for you to take a trade on Eli Lilly? Now, you can call it a switchback. You can go up or down, right? What would it take for you to take that trade, right? You need to have that as part of your plan. If we go look at MasterCard, what would it take for this to become part of your plan, right? Well, I'm probably not interested in a bearish trade unless the market is falling apart and we hit up to that fib line on the top. If we start moving down the 8 moving average, we'll get closer to the fib line down in here, right? If I can get this pattern, the dot to happen, I will take the trade. You have to determine what that perfect setup is. It's not me. You have to determine what that is. If I put it in one word, if we go back to the topic for today, trading after the mini crash, if I put it into one word, right, just one, it would be caution. I would be doing nothing outside of positions I want to own for the long term to hold overnight. That's the only overnight I would do. Everything else would be intraday only. But something has to happen. And it could be two directional. Listen, I will take a bearish trade if we move up, hit this fib line, break down, retest, and fail. I'll take a bearish trade to the downside there. If the market's doing this, right? To the downside, for the upside, if we move down, 8 gets closer to the fib line, we close near it, we bounce, I'll take for the move up to here. I have that plan in place. Now, guess what? I ain't got to think about it. Just sit back and do your thing. When that triggers, it'll let me know. And set alerts up. Go into your trade station or TOS or whomever you're using and set up alerts. If it gets here, give me an alert. If it gets here, give me an alert. Whatever it is, wherever you're looking for an alert, if it gets there, I got an alarm to trigger me. Now you get the alert. I set TradeStation up to send it to my phone. I get the alert, and you'll know when it happens because I set TradeStation up on every time it hits the line, which means it could go above, below, above, below, above, below, and you're getting email. It's constant, right? When you see 17 emails from TradeStation, something got triggered, right? And you don't need that many, but you get the idea. And now my plan is in place and I can walk away. When I say walk away, I've got to be able to trade it. So if you're going to do that, you need to be able to get access from your phone or another computer or wherever you are. You may be away on the other computer working and you're just not on your laptop or your trading system. And now you kind of turn away, right? Yeah. So let's see. We've got a couple of comments in here. Where are your fib lines for these numbers? SPX all-time high. Yeah, so I don't know if I can copy and paste that, Jim. Let's see if it lets me. I don't know why it doesn't. I'm the admin here. Why wouldn't it let me copy my own stuff? So yeah, so Jim, I don't have any numbers on them. I have not measured. And keep in mind, it's not all-time high, although it is for this case, but it's not all-time high. It's the 52-week high where it's measured off of. So Jim's saying right now that he's got 56, 69, 67 as the all-time high. A 10% pullback is 5102. A 15% pullback is 4819. And a 20% pullback is 4535. Right? So if we look at the S&P again, right, we got down to 5120, we'll call it, right? 5102 was the 10% pullback, which is right in there based on Jim's numbers. Okay. So we had that and we got our bounce. So that adds to it, Jim. You're right. That becomes another component of it. Yeah. WD and Home Depot have earnings tomorrow. NVIDIA, CrowdStrike, and CRM on August 28th. Oh, yeah. There's still some earnings out there, but you know, a lot of the majors, look, WD, okay. NVIDIA, big one, right? CrowdStrike, okay. CRM, it's okay, right? Home Depot, big one. So we absolutely, and we always will. Adobe comes out at a much later time than everybody else, or earlier, depending on how you look at it, right? So they have a different date. So, but the majority of the major movers have already announced. All of the big high tech that people look at, the Teslas and the likes, they've already announced. Yeah, it is an H pattern for sure, Brenda. Yep, there's potential H pattern there. Just this kind of, you know, from here, from the C point down here, could be an H right in there. Standard setup of an H, without a doubt. So I thought that the timing of this was very crucial. This is probably the only question that I answered during the week. Is I sent this message to my team to say this is what our topic is going to be for Monday's class, right? And I knew I had to do that. I had an alarm set for me to send something into them, which took me all of 2 minutes to do. And I did it while I was in my mastermind group. So identify the stocks that you want to potentially trade. Look at the market. You could look at the VIX. It's still wild right now. I wouldn't put a lot of emphasis on it just yet. It needs to calm down a little. Look at the VIX. Look at the market. Certainly look at your stocks. Formulate a plan. For it to go up, for me to take a bullish trade, I needed to do this. For me to take a bearish trade, for me to do that. I needed for me to get up above this 53.92 level. retest and bounce. If that happens, which gives me where my 21 moving average is, there's potential to the upside. But I'm going to be limited because I don't have a clear path to my next resistance line. So there's just a lot out there right now happening that you need to be aware of. But to go blindly into, I'm going to take an overnight trade here because I think this was a bottom. That's all it is think. Think, right? You have no proof of it, and proof is the wrong word. You really didn't, to just say on that day that I'm bullish now, you really didn't have a good formulated or a well-formulated plan of why you're bullish. It went up today, so I'm bullish. Okay, I get that. And I get the intraday stuff. I'm good with that. Market's rocking. Why not take advantage of a stock on that day? But that's not a plan. That's just market's up today, let me take advantage. Great, you're in today, that's fine. But to say, I think we hit bottom at this point, maybe. Again, listen, there are some of you that are much better traders than I, no doubt about it. I'm not that good, right? I have purposely built myself out in such a way that I need to do everything I can to put the odds in my favor 1,000,001%. And that's what I do. Just as much as I can to get the odds in my favor of, now I'm right on this. Now I'm doing that. That's where it's important to me. Let's see. Last question here. Moving averages are more bearish to me. Absolutely, Brendan. That's the part of it. It's more, they're bearish. So, but people are, it's FOMO. It's FOMO. And that was a major topic at our mastermind this week was FOMO. Hashtag FOMO, fear of missing out, right? It was a major topic for us from a marketing standpoint, a business standpoint, not from a stock market standpoint. This was a business mastermind. My wife wouldn't be able to keep me away from my computer if it was my stock market mastermind. But fear of missing out. Oh, if I don't jump in now, this is going to happen. This is the new trend. Everybody's on TikTok. I got to get on TikTok. Ooh, everybody's on this. Okay, no, right? No, forget the fear of missing out. The main message at our group this week was you need to pick one thing that you're going to go home and do. Just one. That's it. One thing. Not 13, not 37. They even asked us at the end, what are the top 3 things that you're going to do? And one guy said, I know you told me I can only have 3, but I've got 15. And the guy who runs the mastermind said the exact same thing that I told him later on in private is if you try to do them all, you'll never do any of them. Pick the one thing that would make you take this trade, either up or down, whatever it is. Maybe you have a one for both, right? So good. I'm glad, Eric. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Trader Will, make your bed in the morning. Yeah, that's, guys, if nothing else, the book, Make Your Bed. I mean, I'll just tell you what it is. I'll give you the whole gist in 5 seconds. Make your bed first thing in the morning because you feel accomplished, you got something done, and it sets the rest of your day up. That's it. It's your structure. I have the very first thing that I do every single morning when I get out of bed is get myself ready, brush my teeth, all that good stuff. And I go right down into my health room. I haven't come up with a better name for it yet, where I've got this new machine, this toy that I bought, this PEMF mat. And I get on there for 30 minutes and all the aches and pains from last night of sleeping and my back bothering me the next day, they're all gone, right? That's the first thing I do. I set myself up. I come upstairs. There's some vitamins that I take. I get into some of my stretch exercises for my knee and shoulder and the likes of, body parts that are just a little bit older, a little bit damaged from football and such. Or catching I was a catcher for baseball, softball actually, but still that crouch down position, right? You need a routine and we'll set it, right? Make your bed. It's the very first thing. Good, Ed. I'm glad you liked the class. Right. At least you did the one thing for the day. Exactly. Make your bread and then prayer. Yep. I have all of that in there. I'm doing the prayer part, Erica, while I'm laying on the bed on this mat, this PEMF mat. I won't show pictures of it because I look ridiculous, but I'm laying on a mat and I have another mat on top of me. Right. And that's 30 minutes of that every single morning and 30 minutes of that before I go to bed every single night. My REM sleep has gone through the roof. My deep sleep has gone through the roof. For me, it's gone through. Still not where it should be, but much better than it was. Right. So I've got a routine day and night. I can't remember the guy's name. There's a great book on morning routine. Cannot remember. I just read it about 4 months ago. Yeah, Private Human Rejuvenation Center. There you go. Health is of massive importance. Yeah, I wish we would have talked about this much younger age. I got a cracked rib 3 weeks ago. Ooh, it's rough. Yeah, it's tough. I know Glenn from Genesis had hurt himself like that, had a couple of cracked ribs. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry we didn't have time for candidates. We did go a little bit over. Sorry about that as well. Listen, have a great rest of your day. God bless. And I will see you all at our next update. All right, everybody, take care. Thanks. Click on those links. Get registered for the upcoming trainings we've got, folks. I will see you soon.